This is James Mathers for the Digital Cinema Society at Cine Gear Expo 2025. I'm here with Paul Hawxhurst. Paul's with Canon, and he's going to tell us about some new things that are happening at Canon.
Hi, James. Thanks. It's good to see you, as always. And yeah, so, for Canon right now, especially in the cinema world, we have just released a couple brand new cameras about, 10 months ago. First, the C400, which started shipping in last November. And then after that, the C80, which start shipping in December after that. So two new cinema bodies very quickly, one after another. So, that kind of puts us right now into, in between product cycles there, but we're still really pushing these brand new cameras. And these things were kind of a neat little next step for us. We had the C300 Mark III, the C500 Mark II, and the C70, which all of those cameras had been around for about 5 years, before the release of these cameras. So, I think people were definitely feeling kind of a lull there. And so, last year, and within the last year, we've pushed out these two new cameras, and it's been really exciting to see they're going.
Now, this is a C400.
This right here, I brought with me the C400.
And you did have a C700. That was a fantastic camera, but you've shrunk it, and then this has a lot more features, I believe.
It's really interesting. So the C700 was a much larger camera, but it had a lot more, I'm gonna say, flexibility. But in terms of it had ProRes recording, had RAW recording with a codex unit. It was really kind of more of a camera of its time when it was released, and that was back 2017-ish, 2018-ish. It was really more out there, kind of competing with the Alexa, competing with the it was really kind of similar to the Vericam at the time, right there. And I think, kind of after that, and after seeing market response to that particular camera, kind of Canon really decided and found that its bread and butter was really in the smaller products, the more personal products, the documentary world, where you have a lot of solo shooters, and making these, just the whole stream of documentary got really strong there for a while, and so we kind of went back to our roots a little bit with the original C300s, and now with the C400 and C80.
Yeah. Well, you have the Canon log, which is great. It's very efficient codec.
Yeah.
And so these probably get better quality in a smaller box.
It's actually
these days.
true. And that's the thing, is that the technology has just been going so fast. The dynamic range of this camera is actually quite a bit better than that C700 camera. The resolution is better, and it's just such a much smaller package, much more inexpensive. The media is much more inexpensive now. The CF Express cards have really opened up a lot of this for, I think, not just Canon, for a lot of manufacturers, with this advancement in the media. So I think the sky's the limits in terms of cameras now for everybody.
Yeah. Well, it makes really high-end cameras accessible to a lot more people.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, the general image quality of just everything is bumping up, right? So now people have to go back and really work on their stories, right?
And tell us about the RF technology, RF mount lenses.
Sure. Yeah, so
How does that work with these?
Absolutely. The RF mount, basically, we brought it out in 2018. That's when we first started rolling out our RF mirrorless cameras. And it really is kind of the successor to the EF mount. The EF mount was so wildly popular, but it was around, since the late 80s. But the RF mount, it really does open up. There's more electronic connections in it. There's more feedback between lens and camera body with it. And also with the mount itself, you're shrinking the flange depth of it. So the EF mount was a 44 millimeter flange depth from sensor to lens mount. This one, the RF mount, is a 20 millimeter flange depth. And that really allows you just to use so many more adapters. So on a camera like the C400 right now, is that, you have many more options for cinema glass that you can put on it. PL mount is very easy to adapt to it. And of course, like EF lenses are very easy to adapt with it. On top of that, you can make some really kind of funky adapters as well. We have one, the 0.71 EF to RF adapter, and that is really cool because it's a speed booster, and it takes your full frame EF lenses and squeezes that field of view down onto a Super 35 imager. But by doing that, by squeezing those light rays, you get an extra stop of light out of it. So we're making things like that, and that's really neat.
So down to Super 35, basically, coverage.
Yeah.
How many millions of lenses are there in EF? You don't want to take advantage of that.
Hundreds of millions. Hundreds of millions of lenses out there in EF. And it really is, for a while there, just really kind of a ubiquitous lens system across, not just Canon, for many, many manufacturers. So,
and electronics too, pass through that.
Exactly. The electronic pass through on the RF, there's just a lot more options, and it's a lot more, especially when it comes to the increase of autofocus technology. It really does require that precise feedback between lens and camera. And so with that, with the RF mount, with what we're doing with that, it makes things a lot easier for the engineers to get better results.
So another advantage of RF.
Another advantage of RF.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you. It's great to be here.